members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, particularly those leaders who are sincerely declaring the review of these people, their character, and expeditiously approve this latest one in officers. Honorable Farouk Oshodi here, Jide Omowurare here, Abdulrasaq Balogun, Yemi, Honorable Bambose, Bayo Dulano, and Kuforiji, all of you, thank you very much. Entire House of Assembly, thank you very much. The leaders of our great party, the Alliance for Democracy, the party as well will remain Siamese twins, but inseparable but superior in honesty, integrity, and character as a political party. Thank you. The bodies of permanent secretaries, all of you here, again, recognizing you, I want to thank you because it is not possible for us to have achieved what we have achieved in Lagos State today without the collaboration and the shared vision with the permanent secretaries and members of directors of Inalausa. Thank you very, very much, always. All the executive secretary here present, well, we will soon have to place you before the electorate and test your popularity and the popularity of our party. Chief executive officers of all the parastatals, your Royal Highnesses over here present, Alayeluwa, Oba Oguntayo, Ajalon of Ijebu-Ife, Esho, Adafalori, Irukariama Kosi, Oba tí olówó ní Irukare, Njẹ́ ọkọ̀ tó máa gbó. Well, I congratulate you and I thank you for giving support to the new newly sworn-in officers. All of you, the government officials, market women and women of our great party, so distinguished guests, and one-man congress too, included the swearing ceremony of three illustrious, hard-working people, addition to our cabinet. The three of them is being part of us all along. We know them well, individually and collectively. They are very great people. Our search for excellence is a very honest, sincere one, and we will not yield or compromise that. I tried, because I was going to run late, to invoke one of the principles of quality management, and that is time management, to start the profile of those who, of both, I mean, three of them, while I was in transit. Because I know them, I don't have to be here listening, and I have to use your time efficiently. Ask them to stand. And then you've heard the type of people you bring to serve Lagos State. They are men of great character, well endowed, resourceful, And if you look at Bayo Adewusi, you could see, can you get up? Look, face them. No, because they're trying to finance Bayo that chick will ferment. Because of the challenges of this job. Ours is a fulfillment, but we're not there where we want to be. And let me tiptoe topically. We want to build the foundation of a Lagos state that's comparable to any other civilized, well-organized, well-planned state or city in the world. And we are moving towards that direction. We want to leave a foundation, not just of brick and mortars, but a foundation on which a state is built so that no one, regardless of their background, regardless of their financial ability, will be denied education, which is the greatest weapon against poverty. We want to leave that foundation, a foundation that needs not be the son of Mr. and Mrs. somebody before a full-fledged medical treatment that is available anywhere in the world can be offered to our people, no matter how poor and no matter how high. We want to leave a foundation of service. We know we cannot do it all. The challenge is there for us, and we will assure you that that foundation of Lagos State sovereignty, asserting itself among the nations of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, be independent in the financial resource and management, that is, we assure our tomorrow and the years after. That is the objective of this administration. And we've started doing so in so many ways. We are fully computerized. We are going through the final phase whereby people will not have to deal with files, deletions, and waste of time. A system that is family, that is control effective. I congratulate Akindrati for what and his team and the team in finance. I know changes are very, very difficult. Those who had made some sacrifices, those who have been seen to be working twice harder to ensure the effectiveness of this system, particularly finance, economic planning, and the computer group. Sleepless nights, it looked very, very tough. But we are now efficiently and effectively preparing the budget, doing transaction flow integrity and verification, processing your data. By the time we finish the second phase, it's bye-bye to fine. We will be leading the nation and West Africa in e-governance. That's what I believe the legacy we should leave behind. To some of the industrialists here present, private sector. We build our objective and our vision and our goals, and this assignment was built on a transition program put together by all of us, collaborating with you. You are a participant. What we did not promise you then is that it would be free. What we did not promise you is that it will be without contribution from you. A corporate entity must have conscience. That takes me to the question of the sales tax. We are not compromising anywhere further from that. When you look at expenditure per head of the population in this state, it's nothing. Nothing comparable to even the city of Johannesburg has a higher budget than that of Lagos State, the same African country. And corporate bodies, for those sales tax, going to courts and trying to play tactics is not the answer. We will enforce the law. We waited for 2.5, 3 years to the High Court. We've gotten the judgment. We are going to implement it fully. Those who are saying you want to leave the state, I am very, very sorry. I will say bye-bye. Because if you are not going to be useful to the state, why do you stay there? If the state is not helpful, then we can sell our land or areas to real estate developers and take the yield and thereafter. It is only the poor workers of these states that are paying taxes and making contributions, not the corporate body. You have to make something available. Because pay is not yours. Payroll is deducted from the workers and passed on. You are just an agent. It's passed on to the state. Where is your actual contribution as an entity to the state? To develop those schools? Let them go and visit some of those schools. When they can afford to send our children to those schools overseas, our own, why do you sponsor those children going there? If the home is good, and we better be warned, the neglect of the children of the poor, the children of Mr. Nobody, constitutes a threat to the investment of your own children, Mr. Rich. You better do it. If you leave them to become criminals, if you ignore them and you don't provide for that education right now, your inheritance, your investment will be in perpetual risk. That is why we must contribute to the development, social development of the state where we do business. Let the people of conscience. I leave that off. Mr. Finance Commissioner, the challenge of implementation, we are with you. Will we implement that? No. It comes to another challenge facing the Commissioner for Finance to rescue our sovereignty from the federal government. to ensure that our constitutional rights is not denied, to remind the federal government of that should be a good role model to all of us, political office holders. We've just taken an oath to abide by the Constitution. Mr. President took the same oath. Don't circumvent it, be a leader, implement our financial structure, revenue allocation formula, VAT in the manner stated in the Constitution. That is morality, that is leadership. Supreme Court judgment. Direct deduction from the state because they are not part of our political party structure or symbol is illegal, is immoral. You must deduct only my money with my conscience. It's going to 8 years since the revenue allocation formula has been reviewed. And the Constitution says it's a proposal. We should not be deceived. The Revenue Mobilization Commission is supposed to make a proposal, submit to the President. The President is supposed to take that proposal and take to the National Assembly. If you say you suspect forgery, you suspect different versions, let the House perform its duty. They can summon the Revenue Mobilization Commission to authenticate the numbers there in the committee room of the National Assembly and say, yes, that is the figure. Then leave the National Assembly to do their job. They are the representative of the people. There is separation of power. They are supposed to make the law. The court is supposed to interpret the law. The executive is supposed to administer the law. So the right to our finances is a challenge that is left behind by Wale for you. We must lead the nation to achieve those goals. And you have one of the best attorney generals of this country working for you, one of the best lawyers. Not here, somewhere in your assignment. If it is necessary for court action, we are there with you. Another area challenging you, that will be there with you, is the fact that you must fight for the implementation of the Constitution. There's nothing called excess crude. Nothing. By the teaching given to you as an economist and as a finance person, by my own background, a projection is an estimation. The Constitution says all revenues. It is only at the price that you meet the sales that you can determine the actual. So the difference between your projection and the actual cannot be described as excess. That is your actual revenue. Distribute all of these. The government accounting is zero-based. It has to be zero at the end of the year. That is compliance with the Constitution. That is leadership. And they say, raining day. It's already raining. Since yesterday. How much flood is what must be controlled now? You spend wisely forward to manage it, so when you have some rain, you have shelter. What is happening right now is that you will not have any shelter, you will not be able to defloat, you will not be able to prepare for that rain if it is a storm. May you please help me find an answer from them when you get to that fair. That if revenue is 18, if crude oil is $18 a barrel tomorrow, will you roll back and borrow to finance my allocation at 23? He can keep his money where he wants as the federal government. I should be able to constitute my own saving where I want as the state government. Our responsibility is clear. The Constitution is clear. What it asks us to do, we must do as the leaders of this country. That is what I call morality. Another area of grounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll come back to revenue. We are inviting you, and we are saying that we have 57 local governments. As long as our SEC says they are ready to conduct the election and give us a date, we are going to conduct the election in our 57 local governments. One thing about this Constitution is that it's written in English language, not in Japanese, not in Arabic. Although we have a finance commissioner who can speak Japanese fluently, but by the time he interprets, we might be dozing. Therefore, English language will keep us there. The Constitution says that you, the people, will hold a referendum that you want a local government, as long as you have these numbers specified, 500, 1,000, and after that referendum, the states are authorized, and we will put together and submit the new local government to the state assembly. Once ratified and made law, the state assembly shall forward the newly created local government headquarters and addresses to the National Assembly, who shall cause consequential amendment to the schedule of the local government and the Constitution. They have no room whatsoever to review, to debate. I beg of you, Nigerian journalists, don't talk about approval. National Assembly has no authority, constitutional authority, to approve or disapprove. It said, shall cause consequential amendment. Consequential. The consequence is upon the creation. I use this analogy for the interpretation, for all you to understand. And don't say Lagos State is mixed up. We are being champion of the constitutional democracy. That's all. You belong to a religious body who says there must be courtship before a woman and a man gets married. They courted. There must be marriage. They got married. There must be consummation of that marriage. They consummate. And there's pregnancy. A baby is born, and the culture says it must be named. The baby is named, and they say you must take that name to the local government for registration. And you go to the local government for registration. The registrar said there is no more space. Go home and kill the baby. They have been created. There's a life in them. Those local government cannot be killed. They are babies of this state. We will continue to strive to do everything possible. Mr. Dr. Adewusi, we thank you for accepting the challenge. We thank you for being ready. I'm going to really acknowledge while the only person